Pune Principals. I am Seema Choria. We have a very distinguished guest on our show today. She has been a stalwart member of Women in Leadership for the last 15 years. Over that time, she has served in every office. Executive Director, Gayatri Group of School, Founder, EduDrone We Connect, Pune, Zonal Director, Center for Educational Initiative and Research Global, Vice President, BJP Education Cell Pune, Honorable Advisor, Sports Academy Association of India. She led a plethora of well-known schools such as Vibgyor High, RIMS International Pune, and Trinity International, to name a few, in some roles several times over. She holds a master's degree in English from Pune University and secured the third rank in her B.Ed at SNDT Women's University. Being an eminent speaker, she often participates in the educational panel discussions and has voiced her views and opinions in many leadership conferences and panel discussions. Her undeniable talent has gained her various recognitions, such as Best Teacher Award, the Best Principal Award, Torch Bearer Award of ATC Pune for Incorporated Inclusive Education. She has also received the ISA School Coordinator Award from the British Council, the Outstanding Community Award 2020, Indian Humanitarian Award 2020, Philanthropist Award 2021, and most recently, the Shiksha Kranti Award 2021. It's our honor and privilege to welcome to the show Ms. Kajal Shattija, Executive Director, Gayatri. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ms. Seema, for such a humble introduction you have given. I'm really honored. I feel privileged to be with you.
It's a privilege to have you here, ma'am. So, beginning, ma'am, how did you reach your level of success? I mean, my viewers must be wondering so many things she has in her kitty. So, given the sector's gender gap, especially among leadership.
For this question, and I have answered this question many a times. People are very curious. Ma'am, how? You still look like a teacher and you are executive director. How? So yes, the beauty behind my success is my hair, though it looks black, but I dye my hair and I'm pretty old. I'm not young anymore. And one more important thing, I've been surrounded by incredible leaders and I love following. Yes, we always say, be a leader, don't be a follower. But for being a leader, you have to follow. You have to follow footsteps and you have to look up to their work, follow your passion, and just follow hierarchy. What I have done in my life, yes, I started my career being the co-teacher, teaching deprived section, and spending my afternoon. It all started in 2000, if I remember. From there I have started, and yes, I've climbed the ladder of success. Though it was not easy, but if you believe in yourself, sky is the limit, and it's just a beginning.
Absolutely, ma'am. We are sure there are many more things to be unveiled by you. So going ahead, ma'am, what's one leadership lesson you have learned in your career?
One leadership lesson, though there are many, but if I have to quote one, is empathetic leadership. Feel for your people, those who are there with me, with me, and feel for them and find a leader in them. Leader is someone who empowers leader. So leader empowers leader. Find different leaders around you and start delegating.
Wonderful thought, ma'am. You know, this is very much required to empower each other and make everyone feel that, yes, you can climb the ladders further. So great. Going ahead, ma'am. What is the philosophy of your school and what makes it unique?
For the philosophy of our school, if I talk about Gayatri Group of Schools, in a nutshell, yes, it caters to affordable section, and our mission and vision, it all talks about reaching to the section who are not very privileged, making it very affordable and accessible. And yes, very soon, Gayatri Group, now we are catering to affordable section, yes, middle class. Now very soon we will be launching our international school as well. So we have three SSC schools, we have two CBSE schools, we have three CSR model schools which are in the process of making, and that will be a semi residential school. And this is a revolutionary project of ours. It is happening for the first time, where in Pune we will be the first one to introduce CSR school for underprivileged children, giving them the best of you can say amenities which a normal IB school gets. We will be the first one to provide everything, including meals, including proper curriculum, robotics. The school will be complete high tech. It is in the making, and next year we'll be launching. So our mission is to reach out to children, and child is the center, is the core, to empower and to give them all the skills what they deserve. So right to education is what, if I have to quote.
Brilliant, ma'am, and congratulations on having so many branches of the school. And the best gift, if you asked an underprivileged child what you want, and he'll say, educate me. So you are actually changing the lives of so many students. They are looking up to you, and that is the most modest thing to do. So on this note, ma'am, like you described about your school's philosophy, so what is your idea of an ideal school?
For me, an ideal school, see, I'll just explain. If I ask, what's the heart of the school? So if viewers will be watching me, I am answering myself. Heart of the school is curriculum, and heart of the curriculum is child. So for me, an ideal school will be child centric. It will not be teacher or parent centric. I will only look up to my child, how my child is skilled enough, whether my child is ready to face the world, whether my child is ready to and become the part of the alpha generation. And now we are going to generation Z, right? So
Yeah.
I want my students to be skilled, empowered with all the 21st century skills.
Exactly, ma'am. Very much needed in today's date. So an ideal school picture should be child-centric, rightly said by ma'am. We should make our children to be self-reliant and give them more, vision to see what they can be. So going ahead, ma'am, what's your take on cancellation of CBSE Class 12 exams? A very hot topic of discussion these days.
To this question, I will quote and I will relate this to my personal experience. Not to 12th, I will also relate 10th examination, which both were cancelled, right? 10th was also cancelled and 12th is also cancelled now. So my son, when it was declared that examinations will not happen 2 days, he really partied hard. He baked cake, and he was really, after 2 days, what he said? Mama, I wish if I would have faced examination, I would have known what would be my real marks, right? So see, when whatever is being done and government is thoughtful enough and it's done for their benefit, yes, there is a lot of disappointment, and we've seen in our students, they're sending us messages, mails, dear ma'am, please do something, we want to go for examination, we are ready to come to college. But still, if we look at the and widen our horizon, this situation doesn't support physical examination. So we should be, you can say, we should accept this suggestion and decision. So but still, a lot of deliberations are still happening. I read in the newspaper today also, where it was mentioned that the criteria, what will be the criteria for their marks, and there is still a provision. If students are not satisfied, there will be a provision for them to come to college and appear for physical examination. There is a provision. People and students, parents will get to know about it.
Yeah, it's very easy as a general public for us to comment on the decisions taken, but sitting there and looking for the bigger good of the country is really a difficult job. So very rightly said by ma'am that we should respect the decision of the thoughtful leaders and not just debate on it.
True, very true.
So ma'am, going ahead, ma'am, tell us how the changes we see during COVID-19 pandemic will change the future of higher education in India.
Let's consider this time of COVID as an opportunity. And here I have a brilliant quote we might have heard many a times, that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going tougher. Like, tough will only go on. But now I will change one word. When the tough gets going, the tough gets going online. So we have learned our way, we've gone online. Now we're doing this interview along with you. Otherwise, I had to travel, I had to invest, isn't it? Or you have to, make those arrangements
Right.
so that I can sit and chat with you. We learned going online. Otherwise, if I go back and reflect and recall, we were not aware about all these technical technologies. So thanks. And yes, it is going to bring a revolution. And in abroad, all these things were on, but in India, of course, these were not very we were not technical or technological savvy. So whatever happens for the best. And we've accepted, and the new normal is all set, and we are rolling, and we are rocking, and we are rolling along with you as well on this session.
Wonderful, ma'am. So this is Kajal, ma'am, who sees, opportunities even in challenges. So this is how the attitude towards life should be. If that is there, then definitely every problem will bring an opportunity, and we must know how to avail it.
Very true.
So going ahead, ma'am, there is a long list of your achievements, but I'm sure there must be few which would be very close to your heart and you must be very proud of. So, ma'am, which is that accomplishment you're very proud of?
I am very proud of one accomplishment which I received, Torch Bearer Art to Connect award from Pune region. If I have to reflect, and it's a very, very nostalgic feeling when I think of my annual day, which had, feeling of compassion and empathy. We developed this value by doing, and we invited specially abled children, and they all were blind. So we just need to teach these values, and it's, we always say, learning by doing, right? So
Right.
we learned by doing, we learned by practicing. I just want to create this situation, and I want my viewers, my listeners, to imagine that if my students from a regular school and my students from a special school who are blind, and they are participating in a relay race, and they're participating in a relay race, and they have to finish a difficult path where they each other are helping. So this is what we as educator, we as teachers, we have to embrace, and we have to give them their rights. And through this annual day, it was so brilliant to see those children performing lazim.
Wow.
And they couldn't it just took them 7 days to learn, and they didn't miss a beat. They knew where to stand, and we always say that when God takes away one sense, all other four senses are super duper active.
Right.
So they knew their position. They did a fabulous job, and we connected these children through art, music, dance, and drama. It was a month long activity, and our school was very colorful, lively. NEP is talking about it now. We did in 2019. So it was a month long, you can say, engagement with these children. And this is something, a moving, we created a movement, I will say. So it was a moment to cherish. My Art to Connect award, that's the Torch Bearer. having inclusive education in my curriculum, which
No doubt.
I will always cherish.
I can just imagine, ma'am, the joy which you have got when seeing that you have given these children opportunity. And ma'am, this is such a wonderful thought to have inclusive education, or if you cannot accommodate permanently, to call them for a little while. It even teaches our children that it's okay. They accept that there is something which God has made, and we should accept the person as we are, and we should be empathetic towards others. So,
yeah. And I just want to quote it. This national movement was created by Dr. Nirmala Krishnan, and I just supported and I just loved the activity.
a fantastic lady to have such a great vision, I must say. So, and you are fortunate enough to be the part of this. So, absolutely an amazing moment for all of you. And listening to this, even our viewers will get that this is a brilliant thing to do in our schools. So, ma'am, this brings to me to the very, very interesting segment of the show, which is called Rapid Fire Round. You have to answer in one word only. Here goes the first question. What is the most lacking feature in today's curriculum?
Lacking feature?
Yeah.
It is for sure we are not giving them enough practical knowledge.
All right, so practical knowledge is the lacking feature. Name a school principal you admire the most.
It's Dr. Nirmala Krishnan.
No doubt, I thought that is coming.
Former principal, and yes, I follow her and I admire her a lot.
Great. What should be the ultimate goal of education?
Ultimate goal of education is to make them independent, self-reliance, right from grade 1.
Absolutely. 3 traits a school leader must have today.
3, pardon me?
3 traits a school leader, a school leader must have today.
3 traits are you have to empower, upgradation is need of the hour, and connect. You have to connect with your people, with your students, with your teachers, and sky is the limit once you connect with and you have empathy for them.
So empower, upgrade, and connect. These are the 3 traits. Wonderful. So now the next question, as we are talking about upgrading and texting, this question goes with that. Does writing by hand still matters in digital age?
Yes. And I will see, as you asked, I'll just show you an example. This red diary is, why I have kept this? Whenever I go for any session, and if I hear something really nice, I have a habit of writing it. Because even in Indian system, we just adore and we love writing. And this is admired by people across the globe. Right, when you write, you register. And see, I'll just is it okay if I explain it why we should write?
Please, ma'am, go ahead.
And as I'm a yoga instructor also, so my yoga teacher is bubbling out. See, we write with the help of our thumb and we use index finger, and this is the way we hold our pen, right? So the nerve of our index finger is connected with our brain, and that is the reason in our curriculum writing is still an integral part. And when we write, it really I'm telling you, it triggers and it registers and it becomes a record. It is there with you. So I just love writing.
So in turn, we are actually activating our brain by writing, and this shouldn't go away. So, must to learn skill, that is the writing. Going ahead, ma'am, the last question of this segment. Are exams really necessary?
See, now this question is very important, and it can't be answered alone. We all leaders, thought leaders, must sit together to answer it. Yes, exams are important, and we must find out some creative ways for our, at least for our board who are going for board examination, yes, exams are important, and let's not touch that particular segment. Yes, all other part, like you talk about practicals, you talk about other assessments, unit test, but annual exams are important, because for that, see, you just relate it with your, when you might have gone through so many examination,
Yeah.
because when we go for examination we prepare for it, and we put our heart and soul, and we dedicate time and effort, and this is the time of reflection. When we go for such examination, we it reflects, it tells us how, where are we. So yes, we should, but though because of pandemic, we have not yet found correct ways of evaluation, but we must, and it's need of the hour to have serious examination, because you know what will happen, children, our children will lose connect, our children will lose interest in academics. So yes,
Right.
for me exams are important.
Absolutely right, ma'am. I can totally relate. My children are already not studying. And they're like, exam to hona nahi hai, mama. So what?
पढ़ना नहीं तो क्यों पढ़ना है, they always say
Exactly.
mama chill, just stick. And same goes for my students also. See, you know, this year 2020, it's an iconic year, and we are named as 2020 batch. Oh, very these children are blessed. Take them in, take them in.
They're a part of golden history now.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, now we learned a lot on your professional front, your professional work. So, what Kajal ma'am does when she's not working? What are your hobbies? And we would also like to know the secret. See, you told us that you dye your hair, but what is the secret of this beautiful skin and such a beautiful glow on your face?
You really want to see what I do?
Yeah, of course, we would love to.
I don't think so. Any principal or a director might have done it. I have to get up to show you. May I?
Yeah, please, ma'am.
Is it okay? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll show you what I do when I am a little stressed, or when I like. Sorry, please excuse these clothes which are there. If you
It's
can
okay, ma'am.
see,
Yeah. Lord Buddha.
I have painted walls, and I'll show you my lobby also. So when I am doing nothing, and if I'm stressed, as you said, like I have a beautiful skin. Yes, I'm a yoga trainer. So you can see
Wow. Beautiful.
what I do.
Lovely.
And I'll show you my temple also. I have painted my Lord Krishna.
Wow, such beautifully done. It's flawless. Beautiful.
So teacher is what, you know, she should inculcate art, music. You can see this as well. That is
Yeah.
done with brown color.
Yeah.
So I use art, music, dance, and drama in my lessons, and same goes for my teachers. I always tell them to integrate art in your lesson, and CBSE is talking all about it. CBSE has made art as a compulsory art integration. So just you know, I'm getting a lot of inspiration from my students as well, and we keep sharing these creative pieces with each other.
Wow. So this is Kajal ma'am. For her, painting is meditation and yoga keeps her skin glowing. So all of you, if you want to stress, invite art, music in your daily life, be it part of your life. And this is a great stress reliever and will give you joy too. And definitely practice yoga. It will keep you healthy, plus give you glowing skin too. So going ahead, ma'am, this brings me to the last question of the day, which is also called viewer's choice question. So now
Okay.
this goes, tangible learning gaps have occurred due to COVID. On reopening of the schools, how will educators identify where and what those gaps are, and in which student struggle with them and how to fill those gaps. Like how will school identify that this child is lacking in this child doesn't understood this concept, and how are teachers going to cope up with it?
See, for them, that will again an opportunity. See, now it's being more than a year. They are observing their children. Of course, all our teachers have developed a brilliant bond, and everybody is really looking forward to get back to school.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure once our children will be back, there'll be new energy. The happiness will be something beyond measures. No one can measure that happiness. I don't think so there will be any gap. I just can't imagine any gaps over there. In fact, this gap will be fulfilled, and it will cross the boundaries, and students are going to amaze us. And for that, in fact, teachers have to gear up how to utilize that energy which will be overflowing. In fact, they should focus on making projects, design thinking projects, to involve their energy to the fullest and bridge the gap of the learning, which the days which they have missed. So let's plan hard when they are back.
Yeah, ma'am. Definitely, children are looking forward to get back to school. They have actually realized how integral and inevitable school is for them, and even the parents. They definitely want school to reopen. So it was beautiful having you on our show, ma'am. Amazing discussions. We got a lot of insights on leadership, on seeing the opportunities and challenges, and how to keep yourself always young. So thank you for this wonderful session, and I'm sure my viewers are going to enjoy this. It was absolutely delightful to have you here, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me, and may your platform flourish. And I'd love to come many more time. And please remember me. And if you have anything for me, I'm always up.